We are live.
Hello.
Somebody say hi in chat, please, to make sure that people are there. I love to see when people are there. By the way, hi Simon. Nice to see that you're here. Welcome. Um, Hi everyone. Nice to see you all. Welcome back if you've already been in one of my live streams before. And welcome if you are just joining for the first time. Very good to see you all. Nice to see you, Simon. So Simon, by the way, for people that don't know, um, Simon Prickett did a lot of content with IoT stuff. So if you are interested in IoT stuff, you know, Raspberry Pis and whatnot, go check out Simon's content. He has a lot of stuff, including, I guess he tweets a lot about one of his projects. We keeps track of fights, if I'm not mistaken. Simon can correct me. And if you have a link, Simon, make sure to drop that in chat. I'll make sure to like pin it for people to see it. But welcome. Today's live streams, English is tough today. It's a Monday. I'm like barely waking up. Very tough. First, let me introduce to you all Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hi. I'm nervous. No, okay, I'm not. I'm not that nervous, but yeah.
I'm always nervous for these things. I always think that nobody will show up and I'm going to be here alone, talk to my walls and looking at my camera and pretending that I'm talking to
Well,
somebody that is
you're
not.
talking to me today, at least.
Yes. So today I'm very happy because I already have a friend here. Yay! And I can see her
Right.
face. So if I do something wrong with my code, she can, yell at me or something, which is great. So for those who don't know Carla works with me. We work together here at Okta. We do a bunch of stuff for developers. Go follow Carla on all her social networks because she's amazing. And speaking of social networks, today we are solving Advent of Code puzzles day 2, and if you have time, day 3 as well. Fingers crossed. I'm very excited for this one because I didn't code like I promised myself I would take the weekend to rest up so that I could come here today full energy on. Hi Deepo, nice to see you. Oh, hi Corey, nice to see you again. So Deepo also co-worker. Hi, Deepo. Deepo works a lot with things like Java, and I heard Rust somewhere. Has some plans for Rust.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Corey, which by the way is streaming later today, if I'm not mistaken, around 2 p.m. EST. Go check out Corey's live stream on Twitch for those of you that are watching on YouTube. And well, first things first, Advent of Code. Let's get this done. If you want to check out, yes, Deepo does a lot of stuff. Rust, Go, JavaScript, and a lot more. Also Java, for what I heard, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so first of all, Advent of Code. This is our blog post, our main blog post, a0.to/Advent of Code. This is going to take you to a DevTools blog post that shows everything that we are doing. And you can see, look at this beautiful thumbnail for this blog post. Not beautiful because I did it, but look at all these smiley faces and all friendly people. Yes.
Well,
And
Corey doesn't look that friendly, to be honest.
yeah, Corey's on his witness protection mode in this photo on himself. But basically, all of us are going to do some sort of live streaming, posting to socials about Advent of Code. Yes, obviously, yes. Car is on protection mode. So if you go to this blog post, you can find everything that we are doing. Also, the social networks from like everybody from Okta or Auth0 that is doing some sort of Advent of Code, adventure over the web. So you can find like Twitter, LinkedIn profiles, Twitch accounts, YouTube, whatever you think about, you're going to find there. This list is probably going to go up if more people from like our team decide to join the fun. But the most important thing is this little calendar. So you can check out today's agenda, like the week's agenda. So you can see here, for example, today we have at 10 a.m. EST, my live stream, me and Carla. And at 2 p.m., you can see Corey Codes on his Twitch channel. Something blinked.
As well as my phone, of course. Sorry.
No problem. It happens to the best of us. So this calendar is really good to find out when we are doing stuff. And you can notice we are all going to stop right before Christmas. So we need to rest as well. But that's only live stream. We're probably going to be doing some puzzles still and post it to social. And the other thing is, if you want to check out the code that we've done, that is, oh my God, I need to refresh this. Hold on. Because I added the GitHub profile as well for Carla with her solutions. So you can find all the repos of the solutions that we've done. So Carla's is here. We are following, alphabetical naming and people listing. So Carla first, then me, and then Juan. And once Kaya sends me her link for GitHub, if she's putting online, I don't know. I will add that here as well. So you can find all the solutions we've done. You can check out what we did. We can, open issues, make comments. And if you want, you can even drop yours in here in the comment section for other people to find. So make sure to check out this a0.io/advent of code. But without further ado, let's get to coding finally. So first of all, I did my first puzzle on day 1 on a live stream, and god dang it, part 1 was okay. I guess I got excited and I was like, oh, I got this. And then I got to part 2, and part 2 basically destroyed me. But then I went to the stats and I realized that a lot of people also had problems. So I'm happy that I'm not alone in there. It also helps other developers figure out, like, for example, oh, other people had problems with this puzzle as well. It's not like a me thing. So feel good that you already did something. So for me, I'm celebrating every win. So I managed to do part 1 on day 2 or day 1. I'm so excited. And today, hopefully, we can get to do part 2 of part 1 of day 2. Oh my God, too many 1s and 2s, but you get me, right?
You were definitely not alone. Like I tweeted about it because I also struggle with part 2, and a lot of people were like, I mean, what is this? Like, is this day 1 already? Like, I'm gonna drop out now. But I had to go to Reddit and get some help because I was like, okay, I just don't know what's wrong with this puzzle. And I took a hint from Reddit, 100%. I'm not ashamed.
Corey said, part 2 looks brutal. Just so you know, like for me, my goal is to attempt all of the puzzles. And then, if I cannot do it in 1 hour, like at least for part 2, I might give up on it and take a break, give myself some time, some grace, and then go back to it. And we all love stats, we all love data. So yes, look at the data. Don't feel alone in this. A lot of people are trying, and not everyone is managing to get the solution. So it's fine, everything will be fine. You're not a poor developer because you cannot do it. It's just like things happen. Corey, look at the Corey's plan. I'm going to write ugly code and then ask Copilot or JetBrains to clean it up. So my idea actually was to do like tiny functions because I wanted to write tests for it at a later date or something, and then I can talk about testing and whatnot. So I realized after looking at other people's code that I'm writing a lot of code compared to most people that are actually solving these kinds of things. So for example, I'm trying to break down my thought process in the sense that for me, this makes sense. If I were to go back to this and I needed to explain this code to somebody else, I want to make it easy for myself to do that explanation. And the way that I do it is by making like tiny functions that I can easily read through the code and say, oh, it's doing X, Y, and Z. So, well, that's me. You can do whatever you want to do. So, for example, I looked at Juan's solution for part 2 of the 1, and it was like a huge rejects. I was like, I don't like rejects that much. So I tried to stay to as little as possible. Like, yeah, that's not how I'm going to do it. But at the same time, I still didn't manage to do part 2. So, maybe he's onto something and I'm not. Who knows? I'll keep you posted if I figure out part 2 and what went wrong with my attempt at a solution. Anyways, let's go back to the code. So this is like the stats for, we are on day 4, but we are going to solve day 2 today. So let's go back to the calendar, and calendar is where you can find the puzzles. And look here, puzzle for day 5 drops in 13 hours, 49 minutes and some seconds. Let's go to day two. And you can see here how many stars you got. So each solution, which I realize that not a lot of people know this, each solution, each part gives you 1 star. So most of the problems I guess all of the problems are going to have 2 parts. So if you solve the first part correctly, you're dropping the solution into the solution, like submit your answer box on the puzzle. You're going to, and it's right, you're going to get 1 star back. I did that for day one, part two. I was not right. Life happens. Now let's go to day two. And let's start reading.
Yeah.
Did I forget to say anything important, Corla?
No, I think you got everything.
Okay. Is this as good enough font size? People tell me, people in chat especially, because I'm looking
Yeah,
at like a big screen on my side, so for me it's easy. But if you're watching like on mobile on any device like that has a smaller screen, you might have a hard time reading, and I want to make sure that is like good for everyone. So Kari said bump it up a little bit. Yeah, here we go.
hmm
And I don't mind bumping it up a little bit because I like big font sizes, to be honest. It makes my life a little bit easier. Okay. Cube conundrum. I never know how to pronounce this word. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly. Conundrum? Yes, I guess that's right.
Conundrum? I don't know.
Yes, English is not my first language, but
Same.
You're launched high into the atmosphere, the apex of your trajectory. There's other hard word for me, trajectory. Just barely reaches the surface of a large island floating in the sky. Oh my god. You gently land in a fluffy pile of leaves. It's quite cold, but you don't see much snow. An elf runs over to greet you. The elf explains that you arrived at Snow Island. Snow Island with no snow. And apologizes for the lack of snow. That's the least you can do, elf. Um, he'll be happy to explain the situation, but it's a bit of a walk. So you have to have some time. So you have some time?
So you
I'm
have
asking,
some time.
like, yes. You
But
have
it's a
some
bit
time.
of a word, so you have some time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very confusing already. And it's not even like the cool part yet. Oh my god. They don't get many visitors up here. Would you like to play a game in the meantime? Oh my god. As you walk, the elf shows you a small bag and some cubes, which are either red, green, or blue. Okay, 3 colors: red, green, or blue. Each time you play this game, he will. Oh my god! He will hide a secret number of cubes of each color in the bag. Your goal is to figure out the information about the number of cubes.
hmm
That's our goal. So, like, which number of cubes for each color, right? I'm assuming. To get the information, once a bag has been loaded with cubes, the elf will reach into the bag, grab a handful of random cubes, show them to you, and then put them back in the bag. He'll do this a few times per game. Okay. This keeps reminding me of the statistics. Like, you draw something, and then do you put it back? Do you not put it back? Memories. You'll play several games and record the information from each game. Your puzzle input. Okay. Each game is listed with its ID number, like 11 in game 11, followed by a semicolon separated list of subsets of cubes that were revealed from the back, like 3 red, 5 green, 4 blue. For example, the record of a few games might look like this. Game 1, 3 blue, 4 red, 1 red, 2 green, 6 blue, 2 green. Oh my god. You can what?
No, so basically each semicolon
Oh,
is
I
each time
see.
the elf goes like,
It is a draw. Okay.
uh-huh.
Oh my god, I'm already struggling. So game 1, there were 3 draws, and the first draw was 3 blue, 4 red. The second draw
hmm
was 1 red, 2 green, 6 blue. And you can vary how many times, how many colors. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm
because you can
already like, I don't want to do
maybe.
this anymore. And the third draw was 2 green, and it goes on like this. Game 2, first draw, third, second draw, three, third draw. Oh, and English is hard. In game 1, 3 sets of cubes are revealed from the bag and then put back again. The first set is 3 blue cubes, 4 red cubes. The second set is one red cube, two green cubes, and six blue cubes. At some point today, the word cubes is not going to mean anything anymore for
Yeah.
me because I'm saying so
Yeah.
much.
That happens to
And
me as well.
anyway, so one. The elf would first like to know which games would have been possible if the bag contained only 12 red cubes, 13 green cubes, and 14 blue cubes. Okay. So basically, anything that draws more than 12 in the same round, like this
Hmm.
one, is already disqualified. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. In the above example, games 1, 2, and 5 would have been possible if the bag had loaded with that configuration. However, game 3 would have been impossible because at one point, Elf showed 20 red cubes at once, which makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Yes. So this one is possible, this one is possible, this one is not possible because it only has 12 red cubes. All right, got it. I think I got it.
Hmm.
Let's see when we start coding. I always think I got it until I start coding and then realize that I didn't understand the problem. I don't know if that happens to anybody else, but that's me.
I'm excited to see your process because I don't
My
think I've
my
ever seen
thinking
you like,
process.
yeah.
Good luck. My head is a mess. Just telling you in advance. Um, Similarly, game 4 would also have been impossible. Would also have been impossible because Elf showed you 15 blue cubes. Oh my god, blue and cubes together for me is a very hard collection of sounds. If you add up the IDs of the games, that would have been possible. You get 8. Oh, okay. Oh my god. So you find the games that are possible, and after you find the games that are possible, you sum the IDs. Determine which games would have been possible in the bag had been loaded only with 12 red cubes, 13 green cubes, and 14 blue cubes. Blue cubes. I don't know why I think this sounds is funny. What is the sum of the IDs of those games? All right. Okay. I think I got it. Let's copy this part and let's copy the example. Oh God. Oh dear. How do I? Okay. I don't know how to use like my shortcuts for some reason are not working, and I cannot switch from one side to the other as I wanted them to. And I'm going to copy this one as an example input, and then I'll get the puzzle input as well and create that into my VS Code.
Yeah, I always do that as
So
well.
222, and then I'm gonna do what is this?
Do you normally okay.
Yes.
I was gonna ask you if you normally put the input on a separate file or you just use it on
So
your own file.
for the full input, I put it on a separate file.
Got it.
For the example input, which is like the examples that it gives in the problems, I put them inside into a variable, and that's what I'm going to use.
Like a list inside a list or
Yes,
okay.
exactly. That's my idea. So what? Okay. I, Side note. Carla is more a Ruby person. I'm more of a Python person. So also Carla is going to be learning some Python today, and I'm
Mhm.
going to declare Carla a Pythonista after this live stream officially. And
I've worked as a Python developer in the past, but
look at you.
it's been like 6 years, so
It's been a time, a while, I would
it's
say.
been some
Yes.
time, yeah. It's good because it's very similar to Ruby, so the syntax
Yes.
is very similar.
But I don't know if that happens to you. But for example, I used to code R and then Python. And for me, the problem I had once I started learning more Python was I would get confused in the way that like, because there was some things that were similar, some things that were not, and I would get confused in which way to call like functions and create
Yeah,
classes. My brain would like bundle up like half Python, half R, and then things would not work. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I would realize because I
yeah,
was using the syntax from the other language. I guess that might happen to Ruby too.
it does.
So I guess maybe I should do a list of strings instead. Let's see. Yes. I can also split on the slash n as well. I'm going to do this. Oh, by the way, I discovered that if you do like this, you can run this on a Python console automatically without having to copy and paste like I was doing Friday.
Oh,
But
that's
you're
cool.
also going to notice something, which is this is different from the Python that I was just using. So here I have Python console called IPython, which is an interactive Python console. Is the
Mhm.
same type of console that Jupyter Notebooks use underneath, like under the hood. It is colorful. It has, hints and everything else. So I find it more friendly when I'm trying different things.
Mhm.
Different from like the standard Python console, which is this one, doesn't have any colors. It's not good for,
Breeding,
doesn't
yeah, like.
suggest things. It's
Mm.
harder to read if you are accustomed to syntax highlighting. So the other one I find more friendly. But for some reason, and if anybody that is watching this knows how to do this, please let me know. I could not configure my VS Code to use IPython instead of Python to run the scripts. And I don't know why. Maybe it's something that I did. Maybe it's just me like being silly and not know how to, use this stuff. So one thing that I can do, since I put everything into a doc string, into a
Mhm.
big string, is I can create the list by splitting everything into the backslash n. Oh my
Emmanuel is here.
God, Emanuele, hi. Nice to see you. So, oh, by the way, Emanuele is a GitHub starter of the year, and also an ambassador for Auth0. So everybody go follow Emanuele. He's going back to live streaming sometime. I heard, putting out there to make it happen. Anyways, welcome. Thank you for joining. I met Emanuele at GitHub Universe this year, and he's a great person. If you haven't met him, if you run by him, like see him in an event, go say hi. He's awesome. Oh, look at this! It's real now. Tomorrow will come back. Yes. So for those that
leave
are
it
watching,
leave it pinned so it's proof.
yes, I'm going to stay there. You can screenshot it. If it doesn't happen, we can complain to him after. So, anyways, I'm going to split this into like a list because I prefer to work with lists and then I can like loop over a list without having to split on the fly.
Mhm.
So the way that we can do this, because Python is nice, since this is a string, I can just call a method from the string that is built in. Every string has this, which is split, and pass it the way that I'm going to split the string into. So I have like the backslash n.
Mhm.
That's what I'm going to do. And if I run this, and if I check out example again, so before I had like one big string with like slash n's, and now I don't. One thing that I'm going to do also, well, I'm going to remove
Yeah,
that.
get rid of
Yes,
that.
the empty one because it's annoying. So let's run that one in example. And now we have like a list of strings, which I think is
Cool.
better. Let me see if I'm okay. I'm trying my best. Now keep in mind this is me trying to solve a puzzle at the same time. So there might be some confusion. And if I say something that you don't understand, please drop that in chat. I'll be happy to answer or explain more or differently or whatever works. Okay, so we have a list of things. Now we need to figure out which one are possible and which one are impossible, right? Uh,
Mhm.
I'm going to type here which one that we know is possible.
One, two, and
Impossible.
five, I think.
Uh,
Let me
one,
actually.
two. I guess it's five, right? Because four had like something that was like 15 blues. Yes, and this one doesn't. Okay, five
Yeah, one, two, and five.
and impossible. The rest. Three and four. I'm just commenting this out here just so that I can remember. I'm like Dory, like from Finding Nemo. I suffer from like temporary memory loss kind of thing. So if it's not in my face, I cannot remember it. Okay, so game one, three, two, blah blah blah, and We can also split on, so for each of these ones, we can also split on the, what is this, semicolon? Is it semicolon?
I actually never know the name in English for that.
Yeah, so the two dots is what we're going to
Yeah.
split to get all the draws, and then we can split over the dot and a comma to get like each draw, I guess.
Mhm.
Also, after we split on here, we're going to get one string that is this and another string that is this. And then
Cool.
this one, I can split on space to get like the number, and we can catch the number. So we can have the ID of each game. But one thing that I'm going to do first is for each game, we need to find if they're possible or impossible and then tag them.
Mhm. I
You're going
guess
to say something.
because in the
Mhm.
description of the puzzle it says
Yes.
they're in order, like game 1, game 2, game 3, and so forth.
Yes.
You probably don't even need to say them because it's just the line number, you know.
Yes, the index, you mean?
Yes, +1.
Yes, plus one. So, yes, I'm going to write that down here. Grab the item index +1 for the game ID.
Mhm.
Oh my God. I thought I was typing, but no. Anyways, that's a good idea, actually. Keep that in mind. I might forget that like in 10 lines of code. Okay, so what is the other thing that we need to do is we need to figure out if in here we have anything that is higher than the amounts of these things, right?
Mhm.
Like if you have anything that is higher than 12 reds, like here.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that I'm going to do is probably put down, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but I'm going to write here the limits just in case I need to find those easily. And I could do a list, but I'm going to do a dictionary, which for those that don't know Python, looks like a JSON object, but in Python.
Mhm.
So I'm going to put this information in here for each one of those, and I'm going to use strings because it's easier. So this is red. I should probably do red instead of like and then the number.
Yeah, I would do it like that as well.
Makes more
Like the
sense
key, the
in my
key is
head.
the string.
Yes, for some reason, my
Are you
head
gonna
that
keep
makes
them
more
as
sense.
strings or as numbers?
No, I'm going to keep as strings because it's easier to compare a string 12 to another string 12 than to have to cast for them to compare. So,
Mhm.
in my head,
Yeah.
at least, that makes more sense. Uh, choo, 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 choo. And I need to fix this space here. Okay, I guess that's it. 12 to 2.
You.
And I don't know what to do for now. I guess we are going to loop over each example. For E in example. And what we need to do is we need each of the colors. We need to do a mapping probably. So for each of these things, we need to find the color and the number, right? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to copy this over just so that I can see it, so that I can
Yeah, makes
figure
sense.
out how to write it in a way that makes sense. So for cada example, my Portuguese
For
is
each.
killing. I'm so sorry. If I start speaking Portuguese and don't go back to English, let me know because it is a possibility. So for each, I don't know, for people that speak other languages than English, or the English is not the first language, I would say. I don't know, but for me, what happens is there are a few things that I can only do in Portuguese. For example, count,
Count.
yes, and then alphabetical order. I need to have the letters and figure out the names, the order in Portuguese. In English, my brain won't do. And sometimes when I'm debugging, if I'm like by myself, I'm always going to debug and speak out loud by myself in Portuguese, not in English. I'm only speaking out loud in English when I'm with somebody else that doesn't speak Portuguese. So for
Same.
me, it's very hard when I have to debug when I have to debug something in English because I need to translate the debugging process as well. Oh, hey Joey, nice to see you. And Joey was like counting in Portuguese. Dois, três. Yes, that's exactly it. Dois, três, quatro, cinco. Always going to be in Portuguese for some reason. That's all the Portuguese numbers I know. Yeah, so one, two, three is the same thing. You already know enough, I guess. Okay, so Emanuele just said, I do the opposite. When I develop them, ask me why I use English inside my head. So for those who don't know, Emanuele is actually Italian. That's very funny. I don't know, my brain, I write in English, but my brain will debug things in Portuguese. It's just, I don't know, it happens that way. So for
I
each
think I do
example,
like a mix.
yeah,
Can I
I don't know.
suggest something? Because
Yes.
just for like,
Mm,
because it's easier to say it in English. Instead of
hmm.
calling it example, maybe you can call it like games. And so for each
Okay.
game. So when you see it, I don't know, it's just a trick that I do. It's like I need to make the names very explicit.
I mean, yes, it does. You are right. I should have thought of that actually. So one thing that I would probably do if I were coding like by myself, I would change the names of the variables after to make it like more compliant with the problem.
Mhm.
I don't know why. That's how my brain works
Violated
as well.
Sign said they call it test case.
That's great naming. It works. Oh, okay. Violated sign also said day 2 of Advent of Code. Love to see it. Yes, we are trying to figure out right now. I haven't done this yet, even though it came out in the weekend. I took the weekend to do crochet.
Yeah.
Crochet, play video games, and eat a lot because it's getting colder
Honestly,
here. Yes, life.
no judging.
I know, and so I can split the game into. So what I'm going to um, be sneaky here. So the
Mhm.
same way that I split the games into for \n, I'm going to do this one so that I don't have like a blank space after I split over blank spaces to get
Yeah,
the
that's cool.
names and blah blah blah. So I'm going to split this one here for this one, and I'm going to call it something, which I don't know.
Mm, set. I think each. Wait, is that the set? No, that's not the set. That
Set.
would be the. Each
Yeah, no,
game is
because
listed with its ID number subset.
yeah. So these are the subsets in English, like the plural, like the sum, like all the subsets, and this is like the game idea, I would say.
Yeah.
And the thing I can do here, which Python's kind enough to let me do, is if I'm going to show this in the console. Okay, let me show this because I think this is cool. So let's say you have a string like this, right? And the string is G as in game. And if you do game.split, oh my god, I should have just run this line, right? But I'm silly and I forget because I got too excited. I'm sorry. Um, oh, there you go. There you go. You see, you're going to get
Mm,
a list of two
that's
things,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, and I can do. I guess is there. Let me see. We can unpack this into two variables. Let's say like ID.
Cool. I was going to ask you that because you can do this in Ruby as well.
Yes, game ID and sets. And if you do game
Nice.
ID, you get game one. And if you do sets,
Is
you
that
get like the list of
cool?
sets. My camera froze.
I
No.
like it.
Okay. I saw my camera freeze. If my camera freeze, let me know.
No, I
Uh,
see you.
I feel so seen because that happens to me a lot. It's a real red head scratcher until I realize I'm just slow. Yes, I'm very slow, especially with puzzles. I always think I'm wrong. So Joey says, like elf data formats, if games aren't fun.
They're not at all.
No, I'm very stressed right now at this point in time. So I can do like game ID, just so that we can have multiple variables and then we can
Yeah.
use each variables for each thing. Also, side note, if you do ID only, ID is a reserved word in Python. So
Hmm.
don't do ID because you're going to overwrite this thing. ID is actually something in Python, which is a function that gets
Ah, it's a
object
function ID. Okay.
as well as set. Set is also a function, just so you know, which is like actually is a type, I would say, like sets of something.
Mm.
Elves are fighting some major tech debt. But luckily, we are here to help them. I guess that's a lovely way to look at it. Yes, I'm at least I'm trying. I'm trying really hard. Let's see if we can make it happen. I'm hoping. I'm hopeful. Um, okay. So we have the sets and we have the game ID, and now the game ID and the set is like this and this. So one thing we could do, we could split into like the dot and comma, which I don't remember the name, and
You actually had a good name for it. It was like draw, each
like
draw.
yeah, which draw is a set, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just
So
full transparency here. I already solved this one, but in Ruby. So
mhm.
I'm like, and I don't want to like project my solution to you because I really want to see another way to do it.
Yes,
So
I don't know if this is going to work, to be honest. Let's hope it does.
that's fine. Honestly,
I'll
if it doesn't work, it's fine.
Yeah, so my idea would be like I split the sets in the game ID, I get the sets, and also another thing is if I don't use the game ID for anything, I could just do underscore, which is like
Yeah.
basically a throwaway variable in Python for those who don't know Python and joined. Um, I'm going to keep it in here just in case I need to use it. If I don't need to use it, I'll remove it later.
Makes sense.
Um, so my idea would be split into each set and then have each set become like a dictionary of how many of each value, and then compare that to the cube limits,
The number, yeah.
and then by that find out which game is possible and which is not.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Are you thinking to find the possible ones or the impossible ones?
Only the possible, because those are the ones that are important to us, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does that Why are you
Again,
smiling? I
I'm
feel like you
smiling
know
because
something
I
that I
did.
don't.
No, I did it differently. I just want to see where we're going. You know, I'm trying to like, and I don't want to. I don't want us to do it like the way I did it.
I feel like I'm becoming like some sort of lab rat,
Yeah,
like a guinea pig or
I'm
something.
testing on you. No, I'm just kidding. But that's cool. I want to see where we head to.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, I agree. We should split now by the semicolon.
Yes. Okay, so sets would be equals sets dot split again. And to be honest, I could have split everything together in the same like line, but I prefer to have it like separate so that I know what's happening. And even for
Same.
debugging later, it's going to be easier. So I'm going to
Hmm.
copy this, which is the value I'm going to split for, and then change this to this so that I have like the semicolons and columns in the place that they need to be.
Hmm.
And let's see here. So I'm going to run this to, oh, shoot. I need to do this because, okay,
Oh, yeah.
stop, pause, and then deep breaths. I'm using two consoles and I hadn't run everything in the same console. So now it's supposed to be right.
Cool.
Okay, let's run this part.
Do
And
you
now if
have
I
to
do
like print
sets,
something? Ah, okay, no, you have it there. Huh?
yeah, sets. See, so the first
Awesome.
set, blah, 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 and then blah, 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 and then blah, blah, blah. So another thing that I can do is this, right?
Yep. Six
It
one
feels like it's
three.
wrong
Oh
because
wait.
it's supposed to three sets, right? No?
What?
Why is one missing?
6 red,
What?
1 blue, 3 green.
Okay, let's do this again. Oh,
Yeah.
I know why. Because we have this example, but we ran a 4.
Ah,
So
it's
it's
the
showing
last
the
one,
last
no?
one. Yes.
I was like, what the hell?
This is why. Oh my
Okay,
god.
okay, okay. We know how to code, I promise. One time I was in a interview for a job a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I had to pair program with the other person, and
Oh.
of course I completely forgot how to program. I've been doing this for 10 years, but I just forgot, and I had to do like a for loop or something like that. And I remember just being about to cry and saying, I swear I know how to code, I promise. And he was like, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like, in the end I couldn't do it, but it worked out for the best, I guess, because now I'm here.
According to Corey, the joy and pain of doing it live.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
these things happen totally. And mind you, for me, I'm pretty chill today compared to when I like how I felt in my first live stream ever. But it's still like there is somebody watching me code, so I'm probably doing more typos than I do when I'm like alone by myself coding in the dark. Not that I code in the dark too often, but sometimes it happens. Okay, so now we have the sets. So for each
Yeah.
set, we have like one collection of blah blah blah. And what I'm going to do now is I want to use this comprehension so bad that I'm probably going to do that now.
Ooh, I haven't seen this in a while.
So for those of you who don't know, list comprehensions is a one-liner for. That's it. So Python, we do lists with square brackets, which by
Mhm.
the way, I never know what is the word for that symbol in Portuguese, which is kind of funny. But
In
English is
Spanish, it's
easy.
corchete. So,
So in Portuguese is colchetes as well. But there is colchetes and there is what is the name for the other one? Um, I don't
llave.
remember. The curly ones,
I don't know. I call it llave. Like,
chave. Yes, so same thing.
yeah.
So we have chaves and colchetes, but I never remember which is one, which is which. So anyways, I always confuse, and that's the only thing that I prefer to say in English because like it's squared and it is a little
Yeah.
square. But parentheses is not like rounded brackets, which it should be. So, I got a bone to pick with English there. Anyways, so list comprehensions, one line of 4. So the way that I like to write list comprehensions is by doing the for first. So for set in sets, and then I
Mhm.
want to do something for this set in sets, right? So I want to split those into dot split, and I want to split those into a comma space. Yes, comma space. And I should probably had put into, there you go. So this will give me a list as a result that did the split for each value of this one without me throwing like, 2 lines of code.
Mhm.
How does that sound for everyone? And if, especially Emmanuel, if you're still there and you're trying to learn Python, list comprehensions are big in Python. You can do list comprehensions, dict comprehensions is really nice.
Everything comprehension.
Comprehension is great. Uh, Sometimes it's even more performatic than doing like a simple for, depending on your case. So,
Mhm.
set it up. There is actually a blog post from Trey Hunter. Trey Hunter does a lot of Python code on Python Morsels, his website. That has like GIFs that explain these comprehensions. It was the gifts from Trey Hunter for list comprehensions that made my brain go like, "Ooh, I understand list comprehension now," because it is a visual way of seeing how a for become a list comprehension and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Anyways, so I'm going to override again my object just because I like to. Oh, let me show you the how this looks into the thing, and then you get a list of lists because each split becomes a list,
Cool.
right?
Mhm.
Now I'm probably going to do another list comprehension for each of these lists, which would be the idea, and then I could do like any here, but I don't like it. Like for this one, I could do as well dot split.
Hmm. You could
or
nest it.
something. Yes, but I don't like to nest list comprehensions because I think it gets harder to read.
Yeah. And also you probably need to do stuff on that inner object.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it might get
And
a little
it's
bit.
yeah, it's not just simple as putting a list outside of here. I
Mm-hmm.
would have to do this one and then do another, and it gets confusing and messy.
Yeah.
So for that one, I probably will do differently. So one thing that you could do is actually do a function that you do whatever you need to do and call that function E here.
Uh-huh,
Or
yeah.
you could do a for in the list comprehension inside of the for and do the comparison. I don't know
Mm.
what I'm going to do now, but you know, probably do a function, talvez, maybe, talvez.
I guess this part should also be indented forward. Is that the word? Indented?
Yeah, indented forward.
Indented.
Especially because I'm going to do inside of the for. So I was just doing out not indented
Oh,
because I wanted
testing.
to run it. Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
if it works, I can then do the
Because
other
it's like
part.
the main difference with Ruby is like in Python you indent, and in Ruby you have like def and end. So you always know where it ends.
Yes, we don't have ends. So I'm going to create a function
Cool.
that probably does two things: compare each of these values to inside of the what is the name? The dictionary that we had.
Mm-hmm. And are you gonna pass the whole object inside, like the whole, for example, 3 blue, or the list, like 3 blue, comma 4 red, blah, blah.
I don't know, but that's a good question. I haven't thought of that far. What do you want to do? What do you prefer? Do you want to prefer the
Uh,
whole list and then do a for inside of that list, or do you prefer to do it separately?
I don't know actually. I guess we could. I would. The thing is, I would normally start with making like a chunk like this big of code, and then once it works, I'm like, okay, now I can make it into like smaller functions. Because like
Yeah.
this is hard for me to see. You know what I mean? Where I'm going.
Yes. Yes, I do. So
Like if,
my
but the thing is, for advent of code, if you see my code right now, I didn't do this. Like I just left the whole code because I was like, ah, okay, I did it. You know, I don't want to see it again.
yeah. So for example, for what you're saying, probably what I'm going to do is like do this here for S in sets. It's a nested for. I know. Don't yell at me, people that do Python.
We'll figure out later if it makes
Yes,
sense
I'll
to
improve it later.
improve. You know,
Yes, I'll
let's
improve it
just make
later.
it work.
So now that we have like a list of lists here, so as will be a list, and then I can do that function that I wanted to do, which was def, and then I pass a string and return the the comparison, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Another thing that would be ideal actually is to have a function that receives like all the sets for a game and say like this is possible, this is impossible, ideally.
Yeah.
But now,
Like,
one thing that I wanted to do is make it true if it is possible, make false if it is impossible, and do like in or kind of situation.
mm-hmm.
So transform a set into a possible or impossible. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes sense. That could work. Yeah.
Transform sets and receives the set that it. Oh, I cannot use that word.
Yeah.
Jesus.
S. Can I just say I love Python sets? Like in Ruby, sometimes I find myself like I need a set right now. Why don't I have a set? And I think
And I'm
eventually
not.
they did something about it, but it's just it's not as good.
Yes, I'm not going to do typing today. Okay, bear with me. So transformer set, and this will, I'm going to document this though. Given a set, return through,
If it's possible.
oh my God, if it is possible, yes,
Hmm.
if possible. False otherwise. Oh my God, can type much? False otherwise. Jesus. So I'm going to return false for everything that is not true, right? And then I want to put that limit of cubes here, inside here. I'm going to fix hide indentation. I'm going to hide the limits. And so given a set is a string, is a list like this and a list like
Mm-hmm.
this.
Because
And
you have to iterate over it and see, like, if
yes,
it's blue, check if it's blah blah.
yes. So I'm going to actually move this upwards a little bit. And then I can hide this. So and for like each of these things, I'm going to call this function, which is transform sets. Transform set of S,
Mm-hmm.
which I realize that I'm using a lot of S and S and S everywhere. I apologize already in advance. I promise I'll be better next time. Okay, so now we have a dictionary and we have a, this is, will be an example just so that we have the Hindi.
Yeah.
And then what I want to do is probably split these things and then compare this to each of this dictionary. So the good side is I can do cube and compare
Cube
this to
limits.
this
No?
based on the name. Yes. So for draw for D into for D into S, no. For
For,
value in S. This is awful. I never code like this. I
no
swear
worry.
my
I
life.
normally I normally code like this and then I fix it.
I don't like to code like this.
Then I use the
So
names that I like.
so basically what happens is I will have one of this. I will have to split this thing.
Yeah. And you can do the same thing you did earlier of like um it has a name. Unpacking? Is that the name in
Yes,
like
unpacking,
yeah.
that's the name. So I can do value is split, and I want to split on a space,
Yeah.
and I want to do amount, and I want to do color
Mm-hmm.
equals. And then I can do cube color
Cube
and
limit is the
what?
better one. Cube limits.
Oh, shoot. Yes, cube limit. Sorry, thank you. Pair
Mm-hmm.
programming at its finest. What else? What else? Amount
Human
color.
limiter.
I need to compare if this is the thing, right?
So basically, if the amount is bigger than the limit, it's impossible, for
If the
example.
amount is bigger than the limit, is impossible. Yes. So what I'm trying to figure out is because I need to do this for every one of this, right? So I need to
Mm-hmm.
negate. Okay. So I'm going to compare. So see if I do cube limits red is going to give me 12. But the problem is I have strings here.
Yeah, you can
So I
change
need
it.
to, I can cast it over to int just to make it easier.
Or
Okay,
just
probably,
instead in lines 22, 23, and 24, you can
yes. Already
make that
leave it
easy.
as int.
Yeah, make your life easier.
Yes, and then I just cast the amount, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the amount you do have to cast it.
Yes. Um, so if amount is higher, and this needs to
Mm-hmm.
be an int,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
higher than the cube limits, return false.
Well, if we return false at the first one, oh no, yeah, no, that's true. No, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yes, we just need the other case.
Like if it's impossible, then it's impossible and you finish and that's it.
Yes. So maybe we should do true for
Yep,
everything else.
exactly. I think that should work.
Yes. Test, test, test. If it returns false, and blah blah blah. Let's try to run this. Okay. Hope
And then pass it like the
I'm
first one.
hoping to God that this will work. So I'm going to repeat this thing in here.
Mhm. True, true,
Am I
true.
right? Yes. For the game one, that's right, right?
True, true, true. Yes.
Okay.
Try
Now,
with game three. I want to see
oh
which
my
is the
god, oh
one
my
that
god,
we.
oh my god. I'm so excited if this works. Not example. G equals. Um, I think my keyboard is not working properly, to be honest. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh my god. So
False,
one
true,
false.
true.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The but what was the first one false?
Green because 20 red.
Ah, I said 20 right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So
And then
maybe
in your uh-huh.
maybe we could do. So this is doing for each one of those colors. Maybe we could do for the whole game thing
Or you can also do it in your where is
in
it?
this one.
941, yeah. Because
Yes.
I think it was in Python that it was nice when you had like an array of booleans. You can do like any, all, something like that. Was this Python?
Mhm. Yes.
Because then maybe because you want them all to be true there. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Will is here. Hi, Will.
Hey, Will. Yes. So my idea would be create a list of transforms. Something, something. Transformed is going to be an empty
Transformers.
list.
Optimus
What?
Prime. Nothing.
What?
Just making bad jokes.
I didn't hear. It's fine. And what I'm going to do is append the results of this thing to that list.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What is the append? Append.
Mm-hmm. And that will give you that false true
And
true
then it's going to
list,
give
right?
me this into a list. Yes.
Okay.
And okay, now let's do the fun part. Let's do like, what was the,
Juselio says hello. I don't know if I pronounced
oh,
that correctly.
Juscelio. Yeah, he's my
Juselio.
brother-in-law. Oi, Juscelio. How you doing? So example equals false, true, true. And I hate this because I don't know if I spelled it right or not because it's going to
Oh,
be
it's
false.
good. It's good.
But you understand me. So there is a couple of functions in Python that you can do, which is any. And example, any will give true for any true, if any is true.
Mm-hmm.
All, which is going to give me true if every one of them is true,
Mm-hmm.
and false otherwise. So I guess we can use all, right?
I guess yes. All they all have to
Yes,
be true in this
yes,
case for the game to be possible.
that is true. So if I guess this
All
could be a whole function. If
later.
yeah, I know, yes, but
Someday.
someday this could be a whole function. Transformed.
Yeah. Then it's
I'm going
possible.
to print now. Yes, I'm going to print for now.
Yeah.
Print possible. And since this is not a function right now, I'm going to do an else here just so that I can print the impossible ones for the impossible ones. So we can see a result.
Juselia is having lunch. Have a good lunch.
Yes. Oh, it's 2 hours later in Brazil, so it makes sense. Oh, look at that.
Possible, possible, possible. Okay,
I
that looks
just,
good.
I just okay. It's promising because I thought I had the logic down for part two of day one. At least for the examples I had for the first question, it kind of worked. And then guess what? When I ran for the whole set, it didn't.
Mm, I can tell you
Amy.
why. Because there's a horrible edge case in there.
Yeah, so we are probably going to talk about that offline, and then I will
Mm.
use that for figuring out what's happening. Okay, so this is possible, impossible. Maybe I should do a list of lists
So we
for.
only care about the possible ones, right?
Yes.
But actually, we only care about the game IDs of the possible ones.
Yes. So for those that are possible, which is this one,
We need to keep the
I
game
don't care
ID.
about this ones, right? And I have the game here. I could actually use enumerate. So Python
Ah,
has
yeah.
this method called enumerate, which will
Hmm.
you can use on a like loop, like for loop, and then it will give you like the index of that item and the item itself. So I can change this for enumerate, which is also a
Hmm.
function, much like any all. And I want the index here, and I want the game to be in G because I can use G for everything
I guess
else.
you can use the index for the to identify which game is possible.
Yes, plus one, right?
Yeah.
Because the first one's going to be zero. And now
Hmm.
let's print differently. Let's print, I'm going to turn this
But
into a F string, which is my
oh,
favorite
what's that?
of all time thing in Python. Yes. So game ID
Ah, it's
is
good. It's string interpolation, and then you put
mhm,
the variable there. Oh yeah, I really like that too.
yes. And it will tell if it's possible or not. Can we just
Hmm.
run this and hope to God it works? Yes. So what I
Oh
need to do is do this plus one. And I know it looks awful,
yes.
but bear with me.
Ah, that's cute. I was thinking that you actually need to put the variable name in the index, but you can also
No.
do it with the underscore. That's cool.
Yes, it was just as a like a variable. But let's say you're only using for the for, you don't need it to separate that in anywhere, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So,
Yeah.
for example, one thing that I cannot do now that I have this here is turn this into a underline sort of thing
Yeah. You
because
can do
I'm
it.
going to override that, and I don't want that, right? So let's do like game ID here and throw this one away
Makes more
because I'm
sense.
not
Yeah.
using that one. Yes, and then I can do game ID, which is easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
And let's run to make sure that it still works. It still works.
Cool.
Get
Nice.
it. Get it. Get it. What? Oh my
So
God.
now we need to I guess you could put those in a
Going to remove.
list.
Yes. So we already have an example list here, which is this games thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And what I can do instead of printing it, well, I'm going to leave the print there,
Yeah, leave it, leave it.
is I'm going to do possible IDs equals to, I'm going actually to create this variable before. Possible IDs is a list, and I want to sum the list of IDs, which is possible IDs, append this value.
Mm-hmm. I guess the possible IDs you should declare it outside of the for, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, you're so right. Thank you.
That's my job. To be right.
Great
No, I'm just
programming. Thank you so much for being here.
kidding.
And if I do possible IDs now, you get 1, 2, 5. And I
Chris
can
is
do,
saying
you know what? I can do um, some of this and get the number 8.
yes, that's correct.
Apparently, this works. So let's do, since this is a script, after all, let's do a print of
Some of possible IDs.
some
Nice.
of possible IDs. Mm. And now, if I run everything, should work. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it
Nice.
does. And I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to first come over here and copy the function that reads the document.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yes,
Don't worry.
because
It's
I'm
the same reading all the time.
I'm not going, to be implementing this live. And I'm going to change this is read input
Mm-hmm.
and blah blah
You
blah.
read the
Now what I'm
lines,
going to do.
really.
So what does this do, right? So I actually put a type. And since I didn't put type in anything else, I'm going to remove that. So read input is going to take the path of the document that I'm going to use for input that we're going to grab just a second and create that. Is going to open as a file. And by default, open reads open the opens a document with read permissions, not read and write.
Okay.
So it's going to open as a read format, and then we can read each line and put that into a variable called values. I'm append by each line. It does that automatically. And then I can just strip the slash n from the end to avoid having extra x and slash n's in there. And then I can run everything else with that. So what I'm going to do is games, instead of like being this, I'm going just to go override it. It's going to be games equals read input of, and I think the way I'm supposed to do this is like this.
Can you
Day
do like
two
okay.
is slash input.txt that I'm going to create, doesn't exist right now. And
I
this
wonder
is going to
if
give
just with
me,
the file name will work. I don't know.
I
It
don't think
really
so.
does.
Well, if I was running this in my console, it probably will. But like,
Yeah. You have to be in the same folder to do
yes, if
it.
I were in the same folder. Hi, Freya.
Straight.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. But the thing is, I just realized that we did this. We did like a break of lines here somewhere, right? Didn't
But I
we?
think you're already doing it in the function, no?
I remember us splitting here, so
41.
we are
Yeah.
not going to need this anymore
Exactly.
because I'm already stripping the slash n here, and I'm going to comment this out. Comment. How do I comment things? I keep forgetting. There is like a shortcut. I never remember.
It's like comment slash.
Command slash.
Yeah.
Command slash. Oh my god. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if I want to undo, it's just command slash again for the selected one.
I think it is. Or
Okay.
command shift slash maybe, I don't know.
Now let's create this input txt. Let's go back to like our browser.
Because now it's it's time to get the input.
It's time. It's time.
This
Oh my
is
god.
time. It's game time.
I could actually do instead of like reading a document locally, I could have like grabbed that from the website, but
No.
overkill.
Yeah. We're keeping it simple.
Maybe one thing that I will do this week is actually implement that function that grabs the information from the website. I'm saving this. I don't need this anymore. So input txt, blah blah blah. I'm hoping this will work. Let's try it out. Okay, let's run this one, and let's run this one, and let's see what games comes up. Oh, it works.
Good. That's good.
Great. Oh, thank God.
Moment of truth.
I'm sweating.
Are you gonna show your answer though?
I don't know. Should I?
I mean,
Maybe let's do until the print. Okay. Ooh. We got a bunch that are possible, not all of them, but we got a bunch. Should I show it?
I don't know.
I'm going to let chat decide. So there are 70 people watching. Yo, do you want to see the answer or do you want not to see the answer and be surprised? Vote now while I drink some water. Now is the time. Say something.
Hello.
Hello. Because like what is my idea behind this? So it was me and Carla, like the last time that I did this was Friday, and on Friday I didn't show the answer
Because it was also day one.
it was day one, but like it was already like the leaderboard was already full and everything else. So my question is, do you want to see the result that you need to submit into your advent calendar?
Well, this is assuming that we got it right.
Yes, assuming that we got it right. I'm very optimistic right now. Assuming that we got it right, do you want to see the answer or no? That's the question. If you don't want to see the answer, I will stop sharing my screen, post the answer, and see if we got the results right. That's what I'm going to do. So I won't show the value that you need to put in the field.
I would say let's not show it. Oh wait, Chris
Yes,
wants to
show
see
it.
it.
Oh my God, Chris. Uh,
he's
chaotic.
just he's just gonna go and submit it by himself. I know him.
Okay, I'm going to show, all right? Because Chris, okay, so Chris just said show it. I'm going to show, all right?
Yes, please
Okay,
show.
yes, please show. But keep in mind that if you copy this and post, and like if this is right, and you copy this and post on your calendar just to get your first star, you are cheating, all right? Keep that in mind.
Actually, I don't know because I think last year or in 2021 the inputs were different.
No, but like
So
for
it
people,
might be that
different
it's
people,
not, yeah, so it might be that the answer
mm,
doesn't even
I
work,
don't
but I'm
know.
I'm not sure if it's different right now.
I don't know either. So Chris
Let me
said
see.
show
Let me
it.
see. Let me see my
Juscelio
answer.
said yes, please show. Okay, so I'm showing.
Okay,
Y'all
do it.
chose your own adventure. So let's run it. Let's run it. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the sum.
What do you get?
I love Shreya. Shreya, okay. Cheat, but be smart about it. Just saying. So this is my answer. Let's see if we got it right. Oh my
I
god.
got a different answer. I just checked mine. It's different, so we might have different inputs. Let's see.
I maybe I'm wrong. After one
Then
hour
I'm
and ten
also wrong
minutes
because I was
coding.
doing it with you.
Oh my
You-
god,
we, you
yes.
see, we have different inputs.
Oh, look at that. One gold
Yeah.
star.
Don't you have like confetti or something on Twitch?
I don't have it here. So yes, so we learned something today. First, that like you can get different answers. That's new for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very happy about this one. Thank you everyone that followed along with us rambling on in and doing code like that. But it worked. Great. I'm happy. Now give me a second. Because I don't know if I want to start part two because I'm not that good at part two ever. the That's the right answer. You are one gold star closer to restoring snow operations. Woohoo! Da da da
Nice.
da da. I'm sorry, I'm very excited because, like, for me, I'm not that good at puzzling and like code puzzles. To be honest, like, it's not my forte. So whenever I get one right, I like is just because I'm on live stream, you're not going to see my victory dance, but usually I do a victory dance
Oh, I want to
here.
see it.
Uh, Maybe if we're offline, I'll show you. But like, because we work
Okay.
together and you get like perks. But I didn't know that. So good to know. Everyone's input tax is different. Good to know. Good to know.
I don't know if everyone's input is different or if like there's like a set of inputs.
Yeah, I would suggest like my guess is there would be like maybe 10 different ones and people would be randomly assigned which answer they would get because it's easier in my head at least to code that way. Part two is the same parsing, just needed to change the output calculations. Oh, okay. Well,
One
if you
one
think about
thing
it, day
though,
one was the same thing.
but
Yes.
like one thing is because I assume that Violet Design already did this.
Hmm.
I spent like 20 minutes just reading and trying to understand what I needed to do because I was like what do I need to calculate here? You know?
For part two, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give a pause here just in case okay. So our plan was to live stream for 1 hour and a half. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes now according to
Yeah.
StreamYard.
We can
So I'm going
discuss
to do a pause here, just
debrief.
a second, very deep, very brief pause, so that if I want to cut this live stream after as a highlight, we can get like a whole full stream. So this was part one. Yay, we made it. Stay tuned for part two in probably some other video. You got to think
Sometime
about these things.
maybe.
Usually I export all of my live streams back to YouTube so people can watch it later if they missed it, as well as I make a highlight here on Twitch. So now let's go to part two. Hopefully we can make it right now.
In
We
15
have to.
minutes.
I don't know. We can try 50 minutes, and if it doesn't work, we can stop it.
Let's read it and see.
Yes. Okay, so give me a second. Let look at chat. The way they define it is confusing. Yeah, yes, sometimes. Problem solving is always like problem, but half of the problem solving is
Understanding what they're
understanding the
asking. Yeah.
problem. Yes. Um, I'm not a streamer content creator. It's the small things you never think about. Look, so what happened was I streamed Friday for day one. So context for people that don't know. Because usually I do stream on Fridays, but my Friday live streams also I tend to have things on that is work related. So identity things for Auth0, Python, authentication, authorization in that spectrum of topics. So my Friday live stream last week, I fired it up thinking of doing Flask authentication because I have a Flask web app, which is a web app framework in Python. That I have a demo that me and Juan and Joey, whenever we go to Python events, we run this demo for people to see Auth0 in action
Mhm.
using Python as a backend. So my idea for Friday was to work on that demo and then continue working on it because we are trying to launch V2 for next year. That has some other things that the V1 doesn't, and improving a little bit of things. And then one thing that I realized is I started part two without having this pause. And then when I exported over to YouTube, and then like I'm trying to figure out a few things on my stream. For example, have music in the background. I realized that my Spotify playlist didn't loop over, which is like doesn't have rights to it. And
Uh-huh.
then like the second half, when I was doing part two, most of it had music that had rights to it. And YouTube, because YouTube is very
Strict
has
about it.
very
Yeah.
strict about it, complained that I had things. So I cut my live stream after I finished part one. Think of it as a coincidence. My actually OBS crashed during my live stream after I finished part one. So I just used the crash as a cut and put that in the description. But you know,
It's intended.
it was intended,
It was
Ash.
totally intended to stop it here.
But now, like I'm thinking about this, trying to improve the quality of the streams for people that are watching after the fact. Anyways, oh hey, Lorna 0418, nice to see you again.
Hello.
Okay, let's go to part two of day two. I should have like
Indeed.
some sort of like music or
You need like confetti. I'm telling you.
yes, confetti. Yes, in OBS I think this is easier to configure for me, to be honest. Anyways, so part two, day two. The elf says they've stopped producing snow because they aren't getting any water. Who knew? He isn't sure why the water stopped. However, he can show you how to get the water source, how to get to the water source, and check it out for yourself. It's just up ahead. There is a lot of walking happening in day two of the event. Like you get to the snow island, doesn't have any snow, and then you walk
Mhm.
while the elf explains to you what went wrong. Yeah. Anyways, and while you walk, you're playing a game 100 times over, and each game has 3 draws. It's just a lot of things. Anyways, as you continue your walk, your elf. Let me start again. As you continue your walk, the elf poses a second question. In each game you played, what was the fewest numbers of each color that could have been in the bag to make the game possible? What?
Yeah, exactly.
I read it, but my brain does not compute. What is the fewest numbers of cubes of each color that could have been in the bag to make the game possible? Oh, I see what your point. Oh, I think I understand. So, for example, let's say our limits before were 13, something, something, something,
12,
right?
13, and 14. Yeah.
Yes, 12, 13, and 14. Let's say if you want to draw 4 red in one draw, 6 blue in another, and 2 green in another, you need to have at least 6, 12, and 4, right? Is that what it is?
Let me. I don't know because I took a different approach. Like I understood it differently and it worked.
Okay.
So I don't know. But yes. Okay. Violet Design says yes.
Okay. Yes. I feel validated. Nice.
Yes. Sorry.
In game one,
The smallest number of each color. Yeah.
yes. So I would say the highest one for like each draw, right?
Yes, that was my thinking. I'm like, I need the
Perfect, perfect.
max. I need the max to get the min, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. In game one, the game could have been played with as few as 4 red, 2 green, and 6 blue cubes. I was right. Good, good. I
Yeah.
understood. Half of the work done. Now we just need to code it. If any color had been one fewer cube, the game would have been impossible. Got it. And it talks through all of each one of those. The power of a set of cubes is equal to the number. Oh my god. The power of a set of cubes is equal to the number of red, green, and blue multiplied together. The power of the minimum set of cubes in game one is 48 because you do 4 times 2 times 6.
Yeah.
Yes. So 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. Because 12 and 12, 24, 24 and 24, 48. That's how I do math, by the way. Which I discovered that neurodivergent people do math differently, and is on my list of things why I think I'm neurodivergent at some level. Is my mathing skills is weird. The power of a set of cubes is equal to the numbers of green, red, and blue multiplies together. The power of the minimal sets of cubes in game 1 is 48. In games 2 to 5 was 12. Oh my god, that's a lot.
But
Respectively,
it's doing
okay.
the same, and it's just
Yes.
multiplying the
Adding up
thing.
these 5 powers produces the sum, which is the result, right? For each game,
Uh-huh.
find the minimal set of the cubes have been present. What is the sum of the power of these sets? Okay. I think I got it. Yes, I think I got it. Is this example the same example as from part 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 8 minutes. I don't think we got it in 8 minutes, but I think I
We
got it.
can we can talk it through if you want.
Yes. No, I mean, yes, we are going to talk it through. It's like it's not an option. We are going to talk it through. So I'm going to copy.
Honestly, I think you can copy the whole thing and then change, because what it's going to change is the condition that we're using for saying that a game is possible or not. In this case, it's going to
Yeah, yeah,
be,
yeah. I just
you
wanted to see if the example was the same. So let's do everything again. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy it all. Fluff it.
Learner 0418 is looking forward to learning from our process, and our process is crazy.
Chaotic. That's the process.
Chaos.
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 Chaos. This could be a clip on Twitch. Chaos. Thanks, learner. Well, I'm trying to learn from my process as well. One of the reasons why I'm actually streaming these kind of things is to see if there is anything in the way that I think about the problems that I solve that I can improve. I have a tendency of having a better memory of how I solve the puzzle if I have a recording of it. Not because I will watch the recording, I don't do that, but because my brain
It's like
remembers it better.
super focused that you were being watched and you're like,
Yes. Okay.
mm-hmm. This is part
So
two? Okay.
yes, let's do it. So transform sets, which does calculates these things,
Mm-hmm.
is instead of comparing, we are going to
So the
sum it up.
transform set had only one draw or the whole game?
Only one draw.
Because in this case, I think we need the whole game.
No, but what we are doing is up down here, we are running through the whole game and passing along each of sets.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah.
And then we put it together here. And then instead of doing this we won't need anymore. Is instead of appending the possible ones, is summing the values. Right? So what I'm going to do is turn transform set instead of like doing the comparison. Uh, hit turn like compare which one is the biggest one. Oh, I see what you mean. I see
Yeah,
what you mean
because
now.
you
It
you
took
only
me like
have
a second
yeah.
because
You
you
only
need
have
to
one,
have, yes, you need to have
the
all
whole
of them
thing.
to see which is one is bigger, right?
Yeah, but you can still use it.
Yes.
We just need to, like, I mean, we can edit it to receive the whole line, like the whole,
Yes.
how do we call this? Subset. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and it would be like a 4 outside
Yes. So like for example,
for S.
we already doing like for game. So each one of these sets is a collection
Mm-hmm.
of sets.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe what we could have done instead of doing a list comprehension here, do a dict comprehension. So that we create the dict based on the split values.
And then you keep.
Yes, I guess
Okay.
that's the best way to do it.
I need to see it. You show me.
Yes, I will. So let's. What is? Okay, I used to have a G defined it somewhere. Okay, let's do this. Let's copy this. Oh no, I don't need it. I already have. So what we were doing? So for each game that in my list of examples, which is this one, right? Where is my list of examples?
I
Oh,
think
I
it's
need to uncomment.
that one.
Yes, yes. I don't need to read this now, so I'm going to leave it commented. So for each game in my list of examples, I
Mm-hmm.
need to uncomment that line that had the split n. I'm going to have the game, which is like this. Then I split this into is and this. Oh, Jesus. And this other part into sets. And sets I
Yes,
split into blah, blah, blah.
sets is the one we need right now.
Mhm. And what I'm going to do is make a probably compare function so that I can do a list comprehension. My idea would be start with a dict that it has 0 values.
Mm-hmm.
So start and do something like the list of things that we had here.
Mm-hmm.
Start
And
cube.
then that list is going to be having the minimum. Oh my God, I think we're gonna do it the same way.
So
I
my
started
idea
like
would
this.
be
I had the same start.
start with 0 and update for the one that is highest, right?
Yeah, get the max. So,
Yes.
because if you get the max, then that's the minimum of
Yep.
amount of thingies of cubes.
Yeah. So I'm going to split everything into this one. I'm going, oh, this is probably doesn't need to be here, does it?
No, I think it's good that it's there because every time you go to another game, you get a fresh start for that game. So I think it's good that it's there.
I need to remember how to do list comprehensions though, dict comprehensions, because I forget how to.
Feel
Okay,
free to
let
Google
me,
because I don't know how to do it.
I'm Googling it, don't worry. Dict comprehensions, Python 300. I guess 300 is my go-to list comprehensions person. So this is the GIF. Okay, let me zoom in. So this is the GIF that I showed people, like that I talked about in the beginning of the stream, where it explains what is a list comprehension. So here's what he's trying to do, which is n plus times 2
Oh, that's
for
cool. He's
each number.
translating it.
Yes, and then you
Nice.
add the condition. You know.
Hmm.
So I want to do kind of the same thing without doing the for, but instead of using a list, using a dict. List comprehensions. Where is nested loops? All the comprehensions. Where is okay here? W.
Ah, that one flipped, no? For
Yes,
key value.
I'm going to copy this over. So same
Yeah.
thing. Oh, where's my VS Code? Here. I'm going to copy this over as a
Mhm.
comment. And so sets will be a dict where
The value key for key.
what is the for example? I probably what I should do is copy the for as well.
The original for, yeah.
Yeah. Just so that we know what is going on.
Or we could do it with the for and then translate it.
Yeah. That's what exactly what I was thinking.
Mhm.
And let's do a for. And then we can translate. So for
Key value in.
now what we wanna do. So we wanna do for each S in sets,
Okay.
right? We wanna do
We want to
split,
split it. Yeah.
yes. And we are going to use
Amount. Wait, when we split here, we're splitting
when
the.
we splitting the list of these things here. What is here? Like this. We're splitting these things. I'm going to copy it over here. So we're splitting this and we get each one of those, right?
Then you need to put a semicolon then instead of a column.
Do
No?
I? No, no. We are doing this one.
We're doing it. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, cool.
We have like a list. Okay, what we had is this.
Yeah, that's what we have right now. And
And what
then
was the
there, you can split them by the space and store them in the and do the comparison in the dictionary.
yes. For split it into blah blah blah. What I want to do now is what? This is
It's been an hour and a half. That it's normal. That I
I'm
don't know about
tired.
you, but when I'm pair
Hang on.
programming, over an hour and a half for me is like almost impossible. Over like
Yeah, and we didn't
uh
do any breaks yet. So like this is
no.
not normal 6 10 6. Okay, let's stop for a second. Let's go back to what we were doing. So this splits game into. I'm going to put like each line. I'm going to comment.
What the hell is going on?
Yes, exactly. So this output, the output of this split is this thing here, which is
My
um,
learner.
um, bye learner, good night. Hope you rest. And then this thing here, which is sets. Oh God. Because I split those into two different variables, right?
Yes.
Now, what I do here is I split this thing,
Yeah. So sets now is a list of those thingies.
a list of each one of these
Mm-hmm.
as strings. This is harder than I thought because my brain is already fried. Running on
Yeah.
fumes. Good tip for people that are watching is if you're pair programming and you have a long session to go, make sure that you built in breaks. We are not doing that right now, but it is important. Okay.
Don't do what we're doing.
Don't, yeah, don't do what I do. Be smart about it. Okay. So 3 blue, 4 red, blah, blah, blah. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
what we want to do is we're going to loop over each one of these things and
Mm-hmm.
update the value if the value is bigger than the one that we had before.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
let's,
instead of checking if it's bigger, you can just take the max.
yes, which is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just think about it. So like we are looping over. I'm going to forget about the list dict comprehension right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do a loop. Good old loop.
Yes. So what this line does is it splits things into. Oh, okay. One thing that we could do though,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, is we could split everything into the commas,
Yeah.
okay, and then flatten that list because I need the bigger one, right? I don't need to have like all go over and over and over all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
How do you flatten lists in Python? Keep forgetting. Is Unchained? I guess
Dot
it's Unchained.
flatten? It's not
No,
dot flatten?
mm-mm.
You
I
sure?
guess it's Unchained. No, I'm not sure. That is okay. 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 I'm going to
It's
Google this.
with list comprehension.
Flatten
According to Stack
lists.
Overflow.
Yes, of lists. Because I remember there is a way to do it using I guess it's functools and functools as Unchained or chain or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember the last time I did this.
Ruby wins. Ruby has a dot flatten, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Extend. I could do extend. Oh no, why are you doing this way? There should be a way to do this, like with that flattens up. That is a function. Oh, itertools module chain function. That's what I want. So itertools is one of the Python modules,
Nice.
and chain make the iterator that returns the elements of the first iterator until it's exhausted, then proceeds to the next iterable. Blah blah blah. I could also do asterisk something probably if I knew the size of the thing, but I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do that. So let's continue reading this. Oh, chain from what?
I think something we can do,
Hmm. Tell me.
because I think we're both kind of fried right now, and it's been 1 hour and 37 minutes, is
Yes.
to share our solutions on Twitter.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Right now, you mean?
No, not right. Well, later.
Yes.
So
My-
basically, say goodbye and share our solutions with the spoiler.
Oh, yes. So I guess it's a good idea. Well thought about it. So, I gave you like ideas. I'm going to
Now
probably
you
finish.
have a plan of how to
Now you
solve
have a
this.
plan. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this later after like I had a break, probably have lunch because I read about lunchtime here where I live. And then I will share my puzzle solutions into that. Let me go back to it. That's
The blog
this
post, yeah.
repo. Yes, I'm going to put it in the repo. I'm going to mention Carla because she was here with me for day 2. And then keep in mind that you should check this out because Carla's answer is already, I probably is supposed to be on GitHub. It's going to be there soon if it's not.
It is, it
And I
is.
guess Juan's solution for day 2 is already in his GitHub as well. And he's also doing Python. So if you're curious, do that. I guess that's it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Before I close out the live stream, I'm going to find somebody on Twitch to raid the channel. Let's see who's live. Who's live? If anybody has anyone they wanna like raid, let me know. Drop in chat. Twitch. Let me see if I have any of the people that I follow are coding.
Oh, Tony says, good job. Hi, Tony.
Hi Tony. Thanks, Tony. Na, 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 na. Who's doing coding stuff? Browse. Software. Where are my people? Trying to find people on Twitch is very hard for me sometimes, especially if I don't know who the people are. Yep. Yes. Because I know for a fact, for example, if I waited like 20 minutes, Corey would be online and it would be nice to hate him.
Oh, it's
But
11:20 already.
it's supposed to be okay. Let's check because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember
I don't know.
anymore. And we
I
have
don't
the calendar
even.
here. Oh no, it's only 2 p.m. I was wrong. So
What's the
my
time?
brain,
What's your time right now?
my time right now is 11:40, and he's going to be
Ah, okay.
online at 2 p.m. my time. So I read 1 and 2, and my brain thought, I no
12.
12.
Makes
That's what
sense.
my brain did. Where is there anybody doing advent of code? Advent of code that we can read.
I don't know.
Nonetheless, since I'm not doing any coding anymore, um, oh, there is somebody teach two more channels. Let me check. Advent of Code Day 4. I think I found somebody. Let's see.
Nice.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm going to send everybody to Buster, I guess, which is would be which is a nice, interesting name. Especially if you're on Twitch. Let's be nice to other developers that are also doing Advent of Code. But that's it. Like, make sure to check out a0.to/Advent of Code. Is this person speaking English at all? I think it's German. And so this is my problem. So some of the words are in English, not all of the words.
Maybe if they're programming that's the only way.
Yes. Not
Also,
judging. It's just something that I thought. But Wes, yes. What you were saying, Carla? You said also, and then quiet.
did I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like thinking out loud. I don't
Could
know.
be.
But
Yes.
this was fun. I had fun. This was my first ever streaming session. I'm glad it
Oh
was
my
with you because
god!
I don't know if I could have
I'm
done it
so
alone.
glad. You could have. I would be there in chat, prompting and asking questions and whatnot. So I would be there, even if I was like not, together. Uh,
Do you find anyone?
I did, but they are very silent, so I don't know. Okay, let's do this person instead. Oh, they're talking. Okay, let's do that person. Let's rate. Okay. Thank you everyone that joined. It was really nice having you all here. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun.
Me
And
too.
check out a0.to/advent of code to see when we are going live. Corey is doing his live stream at 2 p.m. today. Uh, Eastern Standard Time, so keep that in mind. And if you want to find our solutions, mine, Carla's, and Juan's, I guess I can stop sharing. If you scroll down on the blog post all the way to the bottom, you're going to see all of our code in there. So you can find the repos and check out the codes. My code for today, I'm going to put it online in a little bit, the part one. And as soon as I finish part two, end of day today, I'll publish that as well. And if
Nice.
you start doing Advent of Code, tag me on your social network. I would love to see your solutions for your puzzles. Um, uh, it was nice seeing you here today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice lunch. Yes.
Thank you, Carla, for the company. It was really nice having you here now.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so rate is going. Bye, everyone.
Bye.